Welcome back to another edition of Dante's recruitment video for yet another tournament. That's right, I want you here with a buddy and a tournament team ready name for my 2v2 arena redo. That's right, I'm doing another arena 2v2. I wanted to do it again. I wanted to sort of see what people had the other tournament, and I just want to redo it so that people can sort of learn from that and maybe come up with newer or better ways to play against other types of players in this tournament. Now, there are different things in this tournament than last tournament, a few different things, and I just want to go over it here, and hopefully you can sign up with a buddy and we can get this underway. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I am back. Another 2v2 is here. It is the best, the very best of the best for a prize to the winner. So pay attention. Bring out your power, bring out your finesse. Some of it's the same as the last tournament, but anyways, damage is coming to your skull. Whether you like it or not. Either way, this is another arena base, obviously the Round Plaza, because that for me is the best way to view for everybody, you know, because I will be streaming at DanteWTF at twitch.com. Anyways, actually it's twitch.com/DanteWTF. Either way, Round Plaza again, 2v2 in the tournament. Also, everything is double elimination, which I like double elimination the best. And there are prizes this time, and I'll tell you right now, the prize is a PlayStation Network card for each of the winners. I'm not gonna lie to you, I'd rather have a PlayStation card than actual money, and the reason is I really just want to spread the whole point of gaming, the whole point of community, and try to keep that together. It's not going to be extravagant, it's not going to be like hundreds of dollars of PlayStation Network cards, but it's going to be the little amount because it is being supplied by me, who's not very rich. So it is a real prize, and each of the teammates of the winners will get it. I'm putting some money into it, and I hope you guys at least appreciate that. I want a little bit more interesting and good fights this one, so I'm putting some prize money in here. Also, there's a possible special prize for who I deem the best or most interesting teammate in the tournament. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to be a winner or you have to always win, but if you're there and your teammate is not doing well for whatever reason, and you clean up with like 8 kills with like a whip and something else dumb, and for some reason it just seemed to work, or you're just having really interesting tactic that does work and it just actually shows some finesse, you can get this possible special prize. I'm trying to work on it, but you know, just keep that in mind in the back of your head that it could be anybody in the tournament. Anyways, you must check in with me prior to the tournament. Of course, DanteWTF on PlayStation. I did this last time. You and your teammate must check in with me. I will put you in a special PlayStation chat room, which you do not talk in, and you must have a team name. I want to set this up a little bit better than last time. This is a team battle tournament. Again, get your best teammate. You must practice because people are out for blood. I can't stress this enough. I know last tournament there were certain teams that just didn't practice, or they were new with each other, or maybe they didn't even have communications with each other. You can't do that. Seriously, you can't do that. I don't care how good you are, you can't do that. Obviously the team declared the winner moves on, and the loser goes to the loser's bracket. These fights will take place at Round Plaza. You already know that. Is best for spectating. And I will set the password, and I will give the password in the PlayStation Network chat. And we must utilize the colors A for red, B for blue. Okay? So remember that. A for red, B for blue. Make sure you have the covenants unlocked. It could be, A could be either be red or orange. Blue can either be blue or purple. That's fine. It just needs to differentiate the teams. This will be another level 110 to 130 tournament, and you must send a picture of your character with your level and stats. So I must see your character, and I must see your level and your stats in order to be entered in the tournament. I want to make this, since there is real prize money, I want to make sure people are doing this correctly. People can technically cheat, and I have to go somewhat on an honor system, since if you use a password in the arena, it doesn't, I don't think it shows any different, or no, maybe it does. It still does show a difference in level. So just try to stay in that level. I guess you could technically be 140 and I wouldn't know. Don't do it. Send me a damn send me the picture of your character level and stats. It's just that simple. Everybody can do it on PlayStation. Come on. If you don't know how to, then don't be in the tournament. Again, message me, friend me, gamertag DanteWTF. If you're in the tournament, I will put you in the special chat. I can't stress that enough. You must message me on PlayStation 4, you and your teammate, prior to the start time. If you do not read the rules, you are subject to termination, and you must use the challenge webpage, this webpage, challenge.com /2v2 redo. That's what I'm naming it. And you must message me. And this is July 9th, 2017 at 12 p.m. I'm actually starting a little bit earlier this time, trying to accommodate for some other people because it could run long depending on, obviously, internet issues, or maybe we have a bunch of ties, or who knows what can happen. And I will be streaming at DanteWTF on Twitch. Of course, starts Sunday, July 9th. Please mark your calendar. Of course, if you're going to be in the damn tournament. Either way, I want to have at least 10 teams. Now, this is an only 8-team tournament. That's it. It's only 8 teams. But I want to have 10 teams, 2 teams for backups in case 2 teams drop out, because that is something that always happens every tournament. I don't care what anybody says. I will say this right now. If there aren't 8 teams during the start of this, meaning certain teams just didn't show up, I will drop the tournament. I will cancel it or postpone it till another Sunday that I can do it. I want to have a full tournament with all teams participating the whole time. So this means, and I've calculated it, that it'd be, if everything went super smoothly, it'd be about 260 minutes worth of fights, which is a little bit over 5 hours, a little bit under 6 hours. So you have to be prepared, especially if you think you're going to go the distance. You and your teammate, remember, both of you, be prepared together to last at least 6 hours. Give yourself the maybe even an hour after that buffer. So worst comes to worst, 7 hours. Obviously, hopefully it doesn't go to that. And I was accounting in for a lot of sets of 3, meaning going to the 3rd match and maybe even a tie here or there. I was accounting for that. So let's say there's a lot of teams that do 2-0 and don't lose. This will go much quicker, but I was accounting for the longest possible tournament situation, so that's where I got my number of 5 to 6 hours. So it could be shorter than that, especially if people start beating up and you can see really who the best team is, of course. So just be prepared for that. I don't want any dropouts again and stuff like that. Obviously, family emergencies and stuff like that always happen. I get it. It makes sense. But again, I don't want that. Just go to challenge.com /2v2 redo for this 8 team, not player, 16 player, but 8 team arena 2v2, 12 o'clock, July 9th, 2017, 12 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that's New York, Florida. I think that would be 5 in the UK and 9 in California. So wherever you think you might be there, please let me know. Get your partner ready. Make sure you know what's going on. Now, obviously, this is only a PS4. Every match is going to be best 2 out of 3. So there is losers bracket as well. But every match is best 2 out of 3 the whole way through, except for the finals, which is best 3 out of 5. Now, I didn't want to make it super crazy long, make it best 4 out of 7, because that is, at the very least, like 25 minutes. And that's pretty long, even for me, who enjoys watching these and commentating. So I'm trying to do the best I can, making it long enough to where people can sort of understand the matchup and maybe recover if it's a bad matchup, or sort of adapt to a situation. So that's why it's best 2 out of 3, and there's losers bracket. But I didn't want to make it too long to where it was like boring or whatever. So that's why I went with best 3 out of 5 for the finals, not 4 out of 7. I wanted to make it short enough, but also long enough. You get what I'm saying? Like, I want to give people a chance, because anybody can lose one match, any team can lose one match, but I want to give people a chance to adapt as best as they can. It's something I didn't really see last tournament, and I really want to see it this tournament. So obviously they will be crowned champion. The best two, and this is double elimination. So if you're in the losers bracket and you make it to the finals, you must beat the winner twice in order to be victorious. Banned. Okay, here's where we go. Banned, it basically is the same. So it's Tears of Denial because I want to see more death. Heals are not banned. Tears of Denial and Karthus Blood Ring because that is just annoying. I don't care what anybody says. That's annoying. And obviously don't use, like, I wouldn't imagine you'd use it, but don't use Obscuring Ring because then I can't see you. And that sucks for the viewing pleasure. But yeah. The time limit was obviously 5 minutes because we were in the arena, and that's how that allows it. As soon as you enter arena, just like last time, start fighting, throw bombs, do whatever you want, heal, I don't care. But obviously, no Tears of Denial. Everything else was fine. Also, if there's a side, all right, this is where things get interesting, right? If there's a side winning and they run away as a team to specifically keep the win, they will be disqualified. This doesn't mean you can't be evasive or a mage type character. It needs to be a clear violation of getting a kill and clearly not being active with damage spells, etc. So that means you get a kill, you run away, and you literally do nothing. Remember, this is team battle. So one person can take aggro and the other person can throw spells and switch and do whatever and have some tactics. Obviously, that's clear, and that's something that happened last tournament, and a lot of people just didn't know how to handle getting blindsided. That's a problem. You need to be able to react, adapt to all these type of playstyles. Healers, spellcasters, hyper armor. Like, you need to be able to adapt to these situations. If your character or your playstyle doesn't work well against that, then, well, you have a real problem because there's gonna be people of all types in the tournament like that on probably most, if not all, teams. So you gotta adapt and be ready for that. Obviously, this is trying to get away from problems I had last tournament. Thought it was clear enough, maybe not. If it's not clear now, please message me and I'll try to make it more clear. Also, if you run out of ways to cast spells, if you are a caster, you must have an alternative method of being active to do damage. This does not include throwables like knives, throwing bombs, etc. that count as true active damage. So what I mean by this is if you run out of spells and you're running around and you can't do anything, you have to have an ability to do damage to your opponent in some way. You can't just sit back and just throw bombs or knives. You have to have an ability to do something. That's actually very important because I did see this in the last tournament where and I'll just say Dark Matter, he ran out of spells, so he was just throwing bombs, and then eventually he ran out of throwing bombs, and then he wasn't able to do anything. I don't want that. You have to be able to do something, Dark Matter, and it is sort of specifically geared towards him because that's the only person I saw that I didn't think that would ever happen. Like that was just weird to me. I guess he just never got any kills during the match, so he never was able to replenish his stock, but he needs to be able to fight in some way instead of just throwing knives or bombs. Even though he actually got a few kills doing that, that's not how I want this tournament to be. I want this tournament to be a little bit more active than that. So you have to have some way to defend yourself and be active other than just throwing bombs or throwing knives if you run out of spells. That is important to me. Now, when I was looking at this and I was trying to make this rule and trying to make it a little bit better, like, you know, for the community, for watching it, I actually only put this in there because I think it's more interesting to watch. I actually don't think it needs it because in my mind and in my eyes, if you're going against someone who basically is only throwing bombs or knives, they're kind of worthless. It's pretty easy to get away from that. So you can either both charge them or you can both charge the other person who may have it, and you should be able to get the win because you can adapt to that situation. Maybe take out a spear or something good for running people down, katana, something like that, and you can usually get a kill that way, and then you can work on the other player who's just throwing bombs. So like, I think it's actually like I don't need to put it in there, but I want to put it in there so that someone will be more active rather than a sort of cat and mouse chase game because they literally can't do anything. It was funny because apparently in that fight I was told that Dark Matter had to kill himself at one point because He wasn't able to do anything, and he was better serving his team killing himself, basically allowing himself to die, which was an interesting tactic in itself. But I don't want someone to have to kill themselves. I want someone to be able to fight in some way, even if it's not as effective. I want them to be able to fight. Obviously, a long-winded way of saying, please be prepared for every situation. If you run out of something, I mean, if your weapon breaks in the middle of the battle, what, are you not going to pull out another weapon? Now, granted, no one's weapon's going to break. Okay, I'm not saying that. But let's say for some strange reason it did. You're telling me you just sit there with a broken weapon and do nothing? No, you'd get out a different weapon, even if it was weaker, and you try to fight with it. That's what I'm saying. Try to get in there, try to mix it up, and fight. If you run out, obviously. All right. I know it's long-winded, it's dumb, whatever. So, anyways, if the fight ends in a draw, simply we will restart the match, and that's about it. Until there's a true winner. If your team's matches up, you get a small time frame to come and fight, or you will lose the round. If there are other matches that can happen aside from yours, we will try to bide our time, obviously, because we don't want to lose matches. You know, we want everybody to fight. But if this happens in the beginning and it's one of the 8 only teams, and I have no backups, again, I will either postpone or cancel the tournament. I want a full active 8-team roster, so 16 players, full active. Because I'm putting money on this, I don't want to just give money away to, like, oh, only 2 teams showed up, so one of them gets the money. No, that's not what I want. I want a true competition here. If there are connection issues and you are the one with the bad lag, you have 1 shot to fix it. If you don't fix it, your team will lose. Certain players can't connect to certain other players. We didn't have that problem last time. But make sure people aren't banned because it's really corny, right? So it hasn't happened. There are certain players I know who can't connect to certain other players, but that player, I know who it is, who I would love to have in this tournament, but their internet is crazy. It sucks. But it's a special circumstance that doesn't happen all the time. And usually I like to ask chat what I think we should do, because I think more minds can come up with a better solution. And lastly, if there are any rules that are confusing or any regulations that should be added or smoothed over, please contact me on DanteWTF on PS4, and I will help in any way. One rule I thought about doing, and it's not in here, I thought about doing, looking at the other tournament, is that I thought about having every match must have a total of 6 kills. So let's say it's 6-0, that's fine. Let's say it's 3-4, it's fine. Let's say it's 4-2, it's fine. All that must have at least 6. But if it's like 1-2, then it doesn't count. They have to fight again. I thought about that rule, and I like it for the most part, except for the fact that, let's say your team and you're losing 4-0, and there's no time left, and you can't come back. It would make that team run away, so that the match would be restarted, right? Like, so there's problems against it, obviously, and there's no way to truly make somebody adhere to certain rules. I mean, someone could technically get a kill and run away in such a way that I wouldn't suspect they were running away to try to not lose. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, no one's trying to lose, but I don't know. It's tough. Those situations are hard. Really, the whole point of those situations and those rules, if you will, are to try to just make more fun matchups and not have people run away and do nothing forever, okay? I mean, that's the point. Like, I want people to play. I want people to fight. I want people to have fun. I also want it for the viewers. There's no doubt about that. So please, if you can, please fight. I don't want any more problems. You know, there's gonna be there's wait and see players all over the place, and the problem is you can't say, hey, no wait and see players, because that's like half the player base, if not more, and especially of good players, which sucks. But 2v2 in a small Round Plaza doesn't happen that often. People can get chased down. People can close the gap. I like it. That's why I like these 2v2s. One other thing. I just wanted to know if people thought the last 2v2 had good camera angle. I don't like the way I have to do the camera. It's a little bit high for me. It's not as close. You can't hear it as well. What sucks is it's not PC, so I can't do anything I want. That sucks. But it is PS4. I'm doing the best I can. Hopefully the commentary and the visuals are good enough. Obviously I can't do much better, which sucks. But I'm trying the best I can. So if you have any other ideas about the Round Plaza or something you think could be better, let me know. I have no problem hearing anybody's anything really on the whole matter. So one last time, 8-team 2v2 arena redo Round Plaza, July 9th, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You and your teammate must check in with me prior to the tournament. I will say this one last time. You must check into me prior to the tournament. Right before the tournament starts, I will take attendance before the tournament in the specialized chat with all the teams. And if your team is not there, I will take you out of the tournament. And if there's not enough teams, meaning if there's not 8 teams, I will probably cancel or postpone the tournament to a later date. All right. So a lot of people always focus on the fact that some of these tournaments might be a little bit slower, especially on the stream. Most of that is not our fault. Sure, some of it can be or is, but a lot of it is contingent upon teams or players being there and being ready. Obviously, connection issues are impossible to understand or determine most of the time. So you really have to bear with the tournament host here, because I see it in chat sometimes and it's confusing. If someone doesn't show up to the tournament, how is that my fault? That's all I'm saying. But this, I will definitely do a 100% attendance in the beginning. And if somehow you aren't able to be there, like in the middle of the tournament, that'll be a crushing blow. But I will try to move on. You know, obviously family emergencies and stuff like that happen. I will say this though. If you know you can't make it and you've signed up, I would strongly appreciate it if you give me the courtesy of telling me before the tournament so that I can fill the spot in some other way. That's all I'm saying. Before the tournament. And hopefully at least a day before the tournament. Otherwise, again, I'm probably going to have to cancel the tournament. So I really don't want to do that, obviously. So please give me the courtesy of telling me if you can't be in the tournament. I don't care what the reason is. Just let me know, you know. I don't care if you just want to go drinking or you drank too much already. Really don't care what the reason is. Just please let me know. That's all. Or let your teammate know to let me know. Or whatever the case may be. So it is all contingent upon participation. And obviously people showing up to the tournament. Please do that. If you want to be in the tournament, obviously message me, DanteWTF, on PS4. You and your team mate with your team name. I'll put you in the tournament that starts Sunday, July 9th, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll put you in the tournament. I would like to have 10 teams. I'll say it one last time. 10 teams. 2 teams as a backup in case 2 teams drop out. I think that's safe enough, right? So I'm assuming at least 1 team's going to drop out. But hopefully I get the best of the best teams in here. A lot of repeat teams from last tournament and maybe some new ones, or some teams that maybe can do a little bit better, because practice makes perfect. You must practice against every type of thing. I want to see Valve Silence. I want to see a super healer team. I want to see super damage team, or super mix-up team, or hyper armor plus heal plus chaos bed vest is just OP team. You know, like, I want to see all these things, and I also want to see adaptability make a return, ladies and gentlemen. That's what I want to see. Okay, remember, there's a prize on the line here, so I'm taking this a little bit more serious. So just do it. Sign up, let me know. So like, comment, subscribe, tell me what you think, and I will be back.